please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. So this morning I want to talk about Prince Harry, I guess guest editor, not editor, guest. What did Prince Harry do? Oh my goodness, Prince Harry did something. He did. What did he do? Okay. Let me just. So today's video, I want to talk about Prince Harry and about the letter that. Is it the letter? Let me see what Omid said. I saw Omid's post late last night, but I've seen this from other Twitters that I follow, and his came way late last night, and I thought of doing the video last night, but I was too tired. I didn't feel like doing it, and I'm glad I didn't do it last night, because when I got up this morning I had a better idea of how to come about it. However, before I start with Prince Harry, I want to thank a couple of my subscribers. If you guys saw my video last night regarding Edward Mnuso, and I said that he was I hope I didn't sound like I was trashing him, because I did not want to trash him. It's just the toughness was not in him. So I can't, it's like one of those people sitting at their home behind a computer, saying what others should do. This is not what I'm saying. It's just that because of his platform, I thought with his situation, his position, he should have just do something much tougher, take up a tougher stance. So this video is not about that. But the reason I mention him is just that this morning when I got up, I saw I have 70 subscribers. If you saw the video that I spoke about him, I think I said I thought I had 65, then it was 66. So yesterday I got a couple subscribers, and on that video yesterday I said that I appreciate all of my subscribers, and I want to keep my channel open to constructive criticism. That's not the word I used yesterday's video, but I don't mind being criticized, but it has to make sense. And at the same time, I want you to respect other subscribers who put comments out there, because I do not want to shut the comment section. I love comment section. If you go on Hugo's channel, I love putting comments. I don't disrespect anything, but sometimes I put silly comments. But I want to do the same thing here, to open the comment section so you guys could share your thought, tell me what you think about my video, whether if I'm wrong, and I'll admit to it. But I want to keep this channel as positive as possible. And in one video, it's not yesterday's video, in one video I said I've had this channel for a very long time. I just didn't know how to go about it, but I wanted to be somewhat political, but I wanted direction, and I didn't feel what direction it should be. So if you look at my very first videos, I was putting silly videos, but there were things that were in the news, and I just took a different spin on them. But now, from following the Sussex squads, Hugo's channels, and I was spending time, when I have free time, I watch Hugo's videos, and I spent my time putting silly comments. They're usually long comments, and some of them are very thoughtful. But I was like, you know what, instead of spending time on his channel putting comments, let me take this channel to a different direction. I know what direction to take it now. So you've been seeing, I've been putting a lot of videos out, and these are things that I've been thinking about, things that touch my inner feelings, and this is where this video is about. So any new subscribers from yesterday, thank you for joining me. And I know there are a lot of negative YouTubers on the Sussexes, and actually I don't even follow a lot of them. It's through Twitter, from hearing from other Twitters I know about some stuff. Even Edward Mnuso, I don't follow him. I didn't know about. I mean, I know he has social media, but sometimes your gut feeling tells you certain things, and you see certain things. You're like, you know what? I want to be peace of mind. This is not the person I want to follow. But I didn't think about him this way, but I just never had the feeling to just go and follow him. And I'm not into fashion, so I didn't even go follow him. Maybe that's the reason I didn't follow him. But with that being said, with Prince Harry's thing, I purposely did not read the post from fastcompany.com, but I went through some of the comments and see what they were saying. And this morning when I got up, it touched me in a way where, even though I didn't read it yet because I wanted to read it as I'm doing this video, I believe he talked about the future of social media. And I'm glad that this is out, because if you don't feel certain things, if you don't have kids and think about their future, there are certain action you will never do. The same thing with the, what's his name again, Edward. And so if he doesn't have it with him, I don't think I have the right to push him to go do something. You understand what I mean? If I can't push him to be in the middle of a battle and then he doesn't know how to defend himself. You understand what I mean? So he did what he did. He think it's right for his position, his capability. But me sitting from outside saying certain things, that's why I said in the video, I'm not on his shoes for me to say certain things, but I just thought I should put my thought out there based on certain things that I see. So with Prince Harry, because he's now a family man, if you look at his teenage years, there are things he was doing without a care in the world. So he didn't have a family. Like, when I mean family, I mean like his own kids, his own wife for him to think about. I'm not talking about the royal family or anything like that. So when I mean his own family, I mean a wife, a child, things like that. That's what I mean. He didn't have that, so he was having fun. And out of nowhere, there's a click, a switch that went in his brain that completely, surprised everybody. And so, you know what? I think I'm talking too much. Let me just go straight into the article. So Omid Scobie, I'm going through Omid Scobie's one. I have several others that I bookmark so I don't forget. But I'm going to go with the Omid Scobie's version. So Prince Harry, we all need a better online experience. We've spoken with leaders across the racial justice movement, experts and humane tech, and advocates of mental health. And the collective opinion is abundantly clear. We do not have the luxury of time. Obviously, time is always the essence. You always need time for something, So I understand that. I didn't even read the article yet, but reading this, it reminded me of a portion of the Obama, when he was being interviewed at the Obama's Foundation, where the lady asked him, whose idea was that regarding I believe it was Head Start, whatever foundation he did with the royal, the one that he just dissolved. So when they asked him, whose idea was that? In several videos, I know I've put that clip, especially that section, and I put memes of this guy squinting his eyes saying, you did it, Harry, you're the one who came up with it. So that reminded me of that particular section. All right, let's go. And
this question would be, do we need another charity? So, what was your thinking in coming together? Whose idea was this?
So that's my motto is exactly
to it. I didn't read it yet. Like I said, I only read some comment on some of the posts or tweets that I saw it last night, but I didn't read this yet. So here, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. 7 minutes read. Oh my God. Okay. A little over 4 years ago, my wife and I started calling business leaders, heads of major corporation, and chief marketing officers at brands and organizations we all use in our daily lives. Damn, he put his wife in there. When they say wife, his body chill. I remember the what do you call this? The engagement interview when they said, something about your wife, and his body, sizzle with pride. This woman is gonna be my wife.
And it's an immense change. You're getting a new country out of it, a husband, obviously, but also giving up your
nice.
career.
Yes, that's nice.
Anyway, back to the article. Alright, so Prince Harry continues. Our message was clear. The digital landscape is unwell, and companies like yours have the chance to reconsider your role in funding and supporting online platforms that had contributed to stoked and created the condition for a crisis of hate, a crisis of health, and a crisis of truth. I just lost my train of thought when I read this. This is what I mean by using your platform. Yeah, what I mean by using your platform for the greater good. Because money, if you look at, when you look at wealth, I know I spoke about things like in many other videos. When you think of wealth, when you're sick and you're on a deathbed or something like that, wealth does not matter. It's while you're alive, you can breathe, you could walk, you could do things. It's worth fighting for things that is right. When people have a platform to do good and you see it's hate that's being promoted in this particular, I guess, platform, this is why I don't follow a lot of people. And most of my videos, if it wasn't for Twitters, I will not be able to make them because I don't follow a lot of people. And if you go on Twitter, you see my my Twitter thing. I don't. I think I should have more people following me. But when there are certain people, when they ask to be, when they ask for me to accept them as followers, I look at their profile, and I was like, I don't have the feeling, a positive vibe from them. I just ignore them. So you will see, I don't have that many followers as well. But anyway, we did this. Okay, back to the article, Prince Harry. We did this at the same time as the launch of a civil rights and racial justice campaign called Stop Hate for Profit, which sought to change online policies around hate speech. In this case, policies at Facebook, by urging companies that regularly purchase digital ad on the platform to withhold their advertising spending for the month of July. As of the end of last month, the campaign, led by respected organizations like the Anti-Defamation League, Color of Change, and NAACP, sent a $7 billion message through withheld ad dollars. Damn, that's some power right there. Some may ask why a change and campaign will take aim at online advertising. Well, that's where the money is. All the what's that, Daily Mail, all those British Mail online social media platform, that's where they get their money. They will use people. Perfect example, Harry and Meghan. Especially Meghan. They used Meghan for hate just to make a few bucks. I mean, is it right? Anyway, well, many of us love and enjoy social media. It's a seemingly free resource for connecting. Yeah, it's not free. Believe me, it's not free. Sharing and organizing, but it's not actually free. Oh shit. Wow. But I swear I did not read this article. I'm reading it here right now for the first time. But it's not actually free. The cost is high. Every time you click, they learn more about you. Very true. Our information, private data, and unknown habits are traded on for advertising space and dollars. That is true. There are times my husband and I are doing research. We want to buy something and we click on a particular product, and next thing you know, wherever online we are, we're seeing products like this. So it's very clear, he is right on the money. The price we're all paying is much higher than it appears, whereas normally we're the consumer buying a product. And in this ever-changing digital world, we are the product. That is true. While companies made their own decision about what to do in July, we felt it necessary to say our part about the rise of an unchecked and divisive attention economy, we've always believed that individuals and communities thrive when the frameworks around them are built from compassion, trust, and well-being. Sadly, this belief is at odds with much of what is being experienced by people on social media. Yeah. From conversations with experts in this space, we believe we have to remodel the architecture of our online community in a way define more compassion than hate. For some reason, when I read this particular sentence, I think of President Obama. There was a time they were doing something. Something have happened. Could have been the Osama bin Laden thing, where he said, it's. I could be wrong from where this thought process coming from, but it was from Obama. He says something about, it's good to have smart people around you. It's not people who's yes sir, yes ma'am, who to put around you. When you have people who know their shit, pretty much, he didn't say shit, who know their stuff, and they will guide you to make good decision. This is why he was successful. He put smart people, intelligent people. When the time come to use them, he called the expert to pretty much give him the idea of how to go about certain things, and he make his final decision based on the expert's advice. And you could see the huge difference between Obama and what we have now. So no matter how high of a position you are, you will not know everything. If you see people who are telling you yes sir all the time, these are the people you have to be concerned about, because they the one who most likely who will lead you to what they want you to do at the end. If you know what I mean, just maybe one day I'll do a video about it, because it's been in my mind many times about the people who's telling certain someone, they're always good about something. But anyway, by truth, okay, back to the article. 7 minutes are going to turn to 30 minutes if I keep on going like this. By truth, instead of misinformation, by equity and inclusiveness, instead of injustice and fear-mongering, by free rather than weaponized speech. This remodeling must include industry leaders from all areas drawing a line in the sand against unacceptable online practices, as well as being active participant in the process of establishing new standards for our online world. This looked like why he's pretty much suing the tabloid in the UK. That's what came to mind as I read it. Companies that purchase online ads must also recognize that our digital world has an impact on the physical world. The mental aspect of it, okay, that's what I think when a physical world. On our collective health, on our democracies, on the ways we think and interact with each other, on how we process and trust information. Actually, let me give you a quick little thing here. This is why lately I've stopped watching a lot of news, because I saw when I read the news, I find myself screaming at my kids for every little thing. And thank God I recognize it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be watching stuff that's really getting me upset, because it seems like I take it on my kids for no reason. So I stopped watching a lot of news. I read headlines just to know what's going on around the world, but I don't go deep into the thing. I don't click on it to see exactly what went on, unless if it's something that will affect my life, specifically like COVID. If I see something, even though I don't like it, but I will read it just to see if something I should be aware of or something like that. Anyway, or things that has to do with voting or things like that. But anyway, because if we are susceptible to the cohesive forces in digital spaces, then we have to ask ourselves, what does this mean for our children? As a father, that's a term he loves. I know he loves that. As a father, this is especially concerning to me. Yep, if you have kids, you have to worry about a lot of things. Like for instance, with the COVID things, my kid's school is sending email left and right, everything that, I mean, I'm not upsetting that they're sending me information. Information is good. But, every little change that they make, they want to keep the parents informed. And from the beginning, I told them I'm not sending my kids to school. I don't care if they have to repeat the class, because I don't like to go to hospitals. I don't want to deal with my youngest in particular, who hates to take medicine. I have to fight with him. So I told them from the beginning, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I used to do stuff on the side, but I want to use that time to be there for them during this pandemic. I cut a lot of things that I used to do because of this pandemic. So that's my job, to keep my kids safe. So I rather use that to just, keep them home. I'm not going to send them to be a guinea pig for people to see what works, what doesn't work. And then I will leave with the casualty of their failure. So anyway, that's what came to mind. So as I'm reading things that come in mind, I'm just going to say, in the 1970s, there was a groundbreaking study on the social effect of lead exposure in kids. The research found a clear connection between lead accumulation in children and their mental development. There's no debate over the danger of lead today, but at the time, the development was met with strong resistance from industrial leaders. Lead was used widespread in products like gas, house paint, and water pipes. Eventually, sweeping health and environmental reforms were put in place to change this. We knew something was harmful to the health of our children, so we made the necessary changes to keep them safe, healthy, and well. That's a very perfect example, and also I like to add, if you guys know about Flinton, I think it's Ohio, where this was evil doing, where I believe if I'm wrong in the way I'm explaining, you guys could correct me. Whoever was in charge of the water supply for the community, they were using one specific pipe or company to provide water to the people. And out of nowhere, 4 years they've been doing it, everything was going well, nobody got sick, nothing. And then out of nowhere, I think it was during the Obama administration, I don't know, the people were upset, angry, and they were taking it out on the people. They changed the water supply system. And through that, what they were doing is giving them, what's that term I want to use? Not dirty, infested, pretty much not clean water. And there were a lot of videos. You guys could search on YouTube videos of people who turn on their faucet and they turn a match, and it was like fire was coming straight out of the faucet. So this is what he's talking about, and that just somewhat came to mind. And there were lead on in the water. The kids in Flint sick, and you have rappers, social influencers who have money were distributing money, distributing water to Flint. So that came to mind when I read this for some reason. Researchers I've spoken with are studying how social media affect people, particularly young people, and I believe the book of data that we will look back on one day will be incredibly troubling. Around the world, for many reasons, we are at turning point, one that has the potential to be transformative in all areas of life. A rebuilding of compassionate, trustworthy communities needs to be at the heart of where we go. And this approach must extend to the digital community, which billions of us participate in every day, but it shouldn't be punitive. When we do the right thing, when we create safe spaces both online and off, everyone wins, even the platforms themselves. That is true. If you look at the Sussex squad, they use positivity, they spread positivity. And every company that uses the Sussexes, if they depend on the information that they put out, most people gravitate toward them and they make money. So that's what I think when I read that. Megan and I heard similar argument made by humane tech leaders we convened at Stanford University earlier this year. Oh, so that's where they went to do their. Yeah, I remember pictures from about that surfacing online. They went to the university. Okay, by internet law expert, by neuroscientists, and most importantly, by young people who have grown up in fully connected world, like my kids think. like I put my kids in a program over the summer, a reading program, and I was looking for a book that they suggested, and I couldn't find the book, so I just went and buy it. I even called friends who have kids if they have the book, if they could lend me. I was preventing from buying it because once he's done with the program, he's not gonna use it. So next thing I know, my 7-year-old, I think he's 8 now, I saw him reading the book online. I was like, what the hell? Where did you find this? He's like, oh, I saw it online. And I did my own research looking for the damn book online. I ended up buying the book, but out of nowhere, he found it online. Anyway, we have an opportunity to do better, and we make the digital world to look at the past and use it to inform the future. We must take a critical eye to the last 2 decades, where advancements in technology and media have outgrown many of the etiquette quadrilles, God whales. Oh my God, I cannot read this morning. Integrate God whales that once ensured they were being designed and used appropriately. In yesterday's video, I believe I said good quality of stuff that came out of England, like the Industrial Revolution and stuff like that. So that's what came to mind. So now we're having Harry, a product of England, good quality. Okay, it shouldn't be seen as coincidence that the rise of social media has been matched by a rise in division amongst us globally. Social media's own algorithms and recommendation tools can drive people down paths toward radicalism and extremism that they might not have taken otherwise. That is true. There are billions of people right now in the midst of global pandemic that has taken hundreds of thousands of lives who rely on algorithmically driven information feeds to make judgments about fact versus fiction, about truth versus lies. One could argue that access to accurate information is more important now than any other time in modern history. And yet, the very places that allow disinformation to spread seems to throw their arms up when asked to take responsibility and finding solution. That sort of remind me of, damn, he's paying attention. Wasn't recently we had those social media people, the Facebook CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, what is it? I think Twitter CEOs were at Washington to talk about things like that. But anyway, we all need a better online experience. We've spoken with leaders across racial justice movement, experts in humane tech, and advocates of mental health. And the collective opinion is abundantly clear. We do not have the luxury of time. We need meaningful digital reform, and while the role of policymakers and regulators is important, we can't just wait for them to take the next step. So he's saying, don't wait for those politicians to make changes, because for them it's like it based on voters, people who's gonna give them vote. So usually there's one video, I think it was a 2-minute video. Out of nowhere, I was thinking of stuff, and something tells me, the people with the negativity thoughts, it didn't go like that, but I'm just paraphrasing. So people with negative thoughts have the loudest mic, so they will amplify their hate much more than those who are actually doing the positivity. So that's what came to mind when I read this, and the video is on my channel. It's like 2 or 3 minutes. It's very short. This is a moment for companies around the world, companies with business and advertising models directly tied to digital platforms, to consider how they can bring about reform to ensure the betterment of all. It was reported recently that for the first time, spending on digital advertising is set to eclipse ad spending on traditional media. Think about what this means. The standard of practices advertisers rely upon when placing their commercials on television, for example, do not apply when it comes to online space, arguably the largest broadcasters in the world. And for the first time in history, the ad spent in this relatively lawless space is beginning to overshadowing the more traditional space. That is true. Like YouTube, it's pretty much a advertising thing. There's no law for it. That's what I'm thinking. In the computer world, there's no law about it, but it's taking over television pretty much. And I don't even watch TV as much. So I can see where this is coming. I don't watch TV as much. If I'm watching TV, it's YouTube on my TV. Alright, so no manufacturers is likely placing their television soap ad next to that's a little hint on Megan right here. Okay, no manufacturers is likely placing their television soap ad next to this type of toxicity. Yet, due to the nature of digital world, that advertisement could be sandwiched between inciting propaganda. So there is a huge value in advertisers sitting at the table with advocacy leaders, with policy leaders, with civil society leaders, in search of solutions that strengthen the digital community while protecting its free and open nature. For companies that purchase online ads, it is one thing to unequivocally disavow hate and racism, white nationalism and anti-Semitism, dangerous misinformation, and as a well-established online culture that promotes violence and bigotry. It is another thing for them to use their leverage, including through their advertising dollars, to demand change from the very places that give a safe haven and vehicle for propagate to hate and division. We're hopeful to see this approach amongst industry leaders become reality. For one, the industry group GARM, GARM, the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, has committed to evaluating standards and definitions around online hate. Two things came to mind. Pretty much the Kensington Palace IG account. I don't follow them. Okay, I don't follow them anymore. Since Megan left, I unfollow a lot of the royals. But on Twitter, I'm hearing people saying the hate comment that is on their comment section, they don't do anything about it. So I don't know how they feel about it, to see, to read all those hate things and they don't either put a stop to it or say something about it. But they think this will elevate them. They don't see this will pretty much is at their demising kind of lifestyle. And the other thing, what came to mind, it was two things. Okay, we're hopeful to see approach among industry leaders become reality. For one, of the industry GARM has come in. Okay, there was something else that came to mind, but I lost the chain of thought. But this is just the beginning. And our hope is that it's the beginning of a movement where we, as people, place community and connection, tolerance and empathy, and joy and kindness above all. The internet has enabled us to be joined together, like the Sussex Squad, a very positive group. I'm so glad I came across them. We are now plugged into a vast nervous system that, yes, reflects our good, but too often also magnifies and fuels our bad. We can and must encourage these platforms to redesign themselves in a more responsible and compassionate way. The world will feel it, and we will all benefit from it. Prince Harry is the Duke of Sussex. That is a very good article. Damn, there was something else. Okay, for companies that purchase online ads, it is one thing to unequivocally disavow hate and racism, white nationalism, and anti-Semitism, dangerous misinformation, and a well-established online culture that promote violence and bigotry. Okay, this is what came to mind. The other thing was, I believe it was 2016 election, or it could have been 2010. It was during Obama's presidency. And this sort of thing was starting to come out, where they're using Facebook to pretty much pin Americans against each other. They brought it up. Nobody did anything about it. And look where we are now. So I could see where this is coming from. This is why I said, I don't think I said out loud, but I typed it down. I typed it on one of the videos that I did, where it's good to know a little, to know a little of everything, but not everything, just enough to be informed, and when things happen, you could pretty much have a good conversation. So I think this is one of those pieces that Harry and Meghan are doing. When they look back at this, they're pretty much going in the right direction with it. So when they look back at it, they could say, at least I did something about the online thing. And when Archie grows up, and they could feel safe to let him be online. Like my kids, they each have a tablet, and I'm constantly looking over their shoulders to see what they're watching. And sometimes we don't curse in our house. There are times I'm hearing them saying certain word, and instead of me screaming at them saying, "Why did you say this word? Why?" I ask them, "What's the meaning of the word?" If you don't know the meaning of it, don't say it. And when they can't tell me what it is, either I'll make them search it online to look for the meaning of it. If it's a bad word, most likely they will not find it, and I'll tell them what it is. And then I said, this is why I don't want you to use it. So when people are informed and they know things, they do better. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make another video today, but I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video and put it out today. Again, for the 70 subscribers, thank you for sticking with me. And like Hugo usually said, it's up to you. I do want to grow this channel, and I will appreciate it if you guys share some of my videos and talk to other people about it. I know the Sussexes don't have that many positive YouTubers out there talking about them. I'm not making any money on any of my videos, but if I don't feel about talking about something, I'm not gonna put videos out. So if it's for money, that's not what I'm here for. But anyway, while I have the time, I might as well spend it and putting positive things out there. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you like the videos that I put, and always hit the thumbs up button. And thanks for joining me.